Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show, November 20th, 2019, speeding closer and closer to 2020. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about symbols, and more symbols, the esoteric translation of symbols. And who better to talk to that about than with Jordan Maxwell, who is joining me here. He is needs no introduction, really, professor, lecturer of symbology, researcher, author. Jordan joins me here. Hello, Jordan.
Yeah, hello there, Bruce. Good to be with you.
Good to have you on. I just got through watching your riveting series, The Secret Life of Symbols. How fun was it to film that?
They were very, very nice. It was very interesting to be able to do that at Gaia. It was done at Gaia, and my friend Jay Widener was the producer at Gaia, and he got me the job to do those. And from what I gather, my series that I did on that symbol series is the highest rated on the Gaia network.
Yeah, I've seen it. Lot of good feedback, a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah, a lot of thumbs up. It was the highest rated because I did 11 different videos, 11 different shows, and each one was the one that got the least likes was 93%. Likes was the least.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, and so it was like a 96, 97 likes, 98 likes, 98% likes, 97% likes. And so the least I got on that whole series was 93% likes. So all of my shows were in the 90, from the mid to high 90% likes, which I thought was very incredible. I thought that was astounding that I got that kind of a response because of the shows that we were doing. I didn't think people were going to really understand them very well, but it turned out the people liked it.
They love it. They want more of it. You're going to be up there competing with the Disney Plus app because they just launched that. No, it's just as good as anything they could put out. And what's crazy? All these Disney movies, the latest, Marvel movies, they had a god that's based off of the Greek gods, Titanos, get his head cut off. I mean, that's kind of racy for a Disney movie. Now they're showing decapitations. I think the Saudis took them over or something.
Yeah, I know. Well, Disney is involved in a lot of dark stuff right now. You have no idea how much dark stuff Disney is into. They're into a lot of communist subversion, Soviet communism crap that they are promoting, and their television shows.
Oh yeah,
and movies.
If I may, the Iron Man symbolism, Iron Man, and they show the obvious hammer and sickle and the red and yellow colors in one, and of course, they're into the magic. I see them promoting Thor now, the comic book,
right.
Odin, Thor. They're just letting it all out.
That's precisely my point. That they are heavily involved in the Illuminati secret society propaganda to propagandize America's youth and prepare them for a communist world takeover.
Yes.
And it's incredible how overwhelming and in your face their stuff really is.
It's insane, Jordan. I was on a plane and I put on the new Lion King, right? And in the old Lion King, they say dawn of a new era, dawn of a new day, the villain. And then the villain goes on and he rallies up a bunch of hyenas like he's Hitler, Scar, and they have a full-out Nazi scene where they're marching in unison like they're the Waffen SS. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then there's an actual sex scene in the Lion King.
That's what I'm talking about. There's all kinds of hidden political, subversive, communistic, Marxist, Leninist, communistic and Nazi philosophy and Nazi symbolism
Yes.
in the movies and television shows, and especially that television series a couple of years ago called V. Do you remember it? The V, the TV series V?
I remember seeing the promos,
Yeah, well, boy, that thing is
V.
jam-packed with communist propaganda right out of the Lenin School of Politics.
Oh, yeah.
The old Lenin School of Politics in Soviet Union that was training all the communist subversion and all the communist agents to bring it to the Western world, Marxist communism. Well, boy, it's just crammed filled with it. And in that television series that ABC did called V.
Right. But, Marvel
and it was all about how extraterrestrial aliens who coming to the earth to help mankind with his problems on the earth.
Yeah.
And when they get here, the extraterrestrials are roaming around the world. They're roaming around the earth trying to get people to follow them. And they're telling the people, here's what we're going to do for you. If you'll just follow us, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to help you with your government, help you with your medical, we'll help you with your crime, and all these wonderful things we're going to do for you. And then they have a pamphlet.
Yeah.
In the movie V, the extraterrestrials have a pamphlet they're handing out around the world to tell the people of the world what they're going to do for you.
Yeah.
And the name of the pamphlet was Dawn of a New Day. That's the name of the pamphlet, the Dawn of a New Day. The extraterrestrials are handing out to the world to show the world what they're going to do for us. And the pamphlet was called The Dawn of a New Day.
That's incredible. Marvel, they're up there. They're owned by Disney. And they have they're letting people know that the wars are going to be infinite because they have a movie called Infinity Wars. And again, they base it on a lot of the gods of folklore like Thor and this other god that's literally the personification of death. So he gets this glove and he's able to wipe away 50% of all living things on the universe. So that, like you said, that's their mentality, and then the alien aspects of it, or the extraterrestrial, where they have Nazis getting technology from the aliens, and then super soldiers like Captain America. He's a Nazi super soldier. All this was once fiction, once comic books, but
that's the kind of stuff
real
I'm talking about. ABC, Disney is heavily involved in promotion of dark secret society, occult symbolism for the Communist Party, for Marxist-Leninism, for the not only the Communist Party but for the Nazi Party. And it's just overwhelming in your face when they're making movies like The Lion King.
Yes.
Lion King is an astronomical story based on what Adolf Hitler was trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Hitler was talking about the coming of the new age, of the sun rising on the dawn of a new world order, and that's what the movie was all about.
Yeah.
Was the sun in the age of Leo the Lion King, and it has to do with astrology. It's just an incredible story about where Disney and ABC that bought Disney, or Disney bought ABC, but what Disney is really all about today is just extraordinary stuff. They're right in your face, telling you what they're doing. They're promoting their Marxist communism, Nazism, the world revolutionary movement, all kinds of dark stuff that's in your face. I mean, there's no way to get around it.
Oh no! When I was a kid, the Rafiki, from Lion King, there was this monkey. He's doing voodoo and summoning the dead. He's allowing the the lion's son, the prince, to speak to the old king lion that was killed by his brother. It's based off of also the Lion King. I think is based off of Set and the Osiris and all the whole how Set turns on Osiris and he kills his brother. I mean, it's just, like you said, it's just in your face.
It is. It's just amazing.
Yes.
What they're involving themselves in, and I mean, I had a job I was offered to be in a movie at Disney. They called and wanted me to be a part of a motion picture in a movie they were making, and as because it was the kind of subject I deal with, and so they wanted me in the movie. And I went out there, and what I discovered was the guards, even the guards there, are absolutely out of control. Everything is total Nazism. It's all a very, very dark fascist operation Disney is. Their guards are scary. I mean, I was just amazed at the kind of mentality the guards at the Disney studio displayed. It was really kind of very scary to me.
Yeah, then they got that Club 33.
It's Club 33 down at Disney, and like I said, it's just Disney Studios has been taken over by a highly, highly subversive organization. Disney knew about them, and Disney knew what was going on, and he realized what they wanted to do was take over his studio, because his studio was so popular with young people around the world. Everyone loved Disney Studios, Walt Disney. And so Disney realized that the power-hungry, Marxist, power-hungry, secret societies wanted to own Disney. They wanted to own it so that they could put their propaganda into Disney films for children and for young people, and put it in there for movies and television shows. And Disney knew that. He fought them all the way, but they finally won. They finally broke him and caused him to go broke, and then bought him out and bought Disneyland out, and now now the subversive owned Disney Studios.
Oh yeah, I read, Jordan, that the FBI, he was collaborating with the FBI at one point. You remember Senator McCarthy yelled about the communists of Hollywood, and everybody said he was crazy. But the more the years go by, I think that senator was totally smeared, and I think he was right, because it was total communist takeover.
Correct,
as you say.
Yep, and when George Lucas, which I had lunch with George Lucas out at Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
But when George Lucas sold Disney the Star Wars operation, the whole Star Wars project, George Lucas sold that whole project of Star Wars to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see what George Lucas said publicly about that deal? About when Disney bought his Star Wars project for a lot of money?
I just heard that he says he's not involved really in the new movies. It's just his studios, but he's got nothing to do with the new movies. But yeah, what did he say?
He said something to the effect that I have sold my children to the slave owners. I've sold my children to the slave owners. And he was very, very unhappy with that deal, selling his Star Wars stories to Disney. He said, I sold my children to the slave owners.
He sold his soul to the devil.
Boy, that was pretty heavy-duty comment for George Lucas to make it public about the deal with Disney.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of anger even in the Fox world, because they got taken over. Fox was taken over by Disney recently, and they had a cartoon of the Simpsons, and Bart Simpson, Disney forced him to put on the Mickey ears, and he's like, I won't put on the nose. And then his dad Homer's like, boy, they're paying us a lot of money, you better put on that nose.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know about that.
And then he puts on the nose, but then he turns around and drops his pants and shows Disney his butt. So
Incredible
it
stuff,
seems like
boy.
Disney's just like a conqueror right now, just taking everything over.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And they're taking it over because Disney is on the very front. They are on the very front of promoting Marxist communism, period.
Yeah.
And it's a very overwhelming political movement by Disney to promote Marxist communism out of Soviet Union communism. And it's overwhelming and provable in your face. And I have got all kinds of proofs on that. I've done a lot of research on the movies and what's being said in the movies, quotes that are in the movies. And I think it was Disney that did a series on ants.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it Disney that did
Yeah, they did the movie Ants.
that movie group, a bunch of movies on ants?
Yes.
Well, in there's a scene in one of the ant movies where the leader of the ant colony is calling everybody to war. He's calling everybody to war. Mm-hmm. And all the ants are lining up behind the leader. And it shows him on a platform talking to the whole ant colony. And he said, "This is the dawn of a new day for the world revolution. It's the dawn of a new day. And we have to be ready, prepared for war." And I thought to myself, my God, Jordan, dawn of a new day. That was a symbol that was taken directly off of the Soviet national coat of arms.
Yes.
The Soviet coat of arms was called the dawn of a new day with the sun rising. And there it is on the ant movies. The chief ant, the head ant, is telling the whole ant colony, we are now at the beginning of the dawn of a new day for a world revolution. And so that's what Disney's doing, is preparing the whole human race for a world revolution. And the revolution is going to be for young people to revolt against their parents, to revolt against the system of ethics and morals and scruples that we have in the Western civilization. So Disney is leading the attack on Western civilization with their filthy and degenerate secret societies, with their hidden symbolism. I'm just amazed beyond words.
It's never ending. They even outright put pornography in some of the cartoons. Like I forget the name, but it's these mice that are running around, and on the street there's some piece of paper that's flying around, and it's literally porno. It's just so small to see, but it's there. It's hidden.
And then Spielberg, he's produced a television series for kids on kids' TV on Saturday, Saturday television for children called Pinky and the Brain.
Oh my goodness! I watch that all the time.
I was amazed when I saw that. It's produced by Steven Spielberg. Spielberg has produced a television series for kids television on Saturday morning called Pinky and the Brain.
Oh yeah, the Pinky and the Brain, the Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
That's it. You got it. And so Pinky is this crazy, goofy mouse, mentally deranged little goofy mouse that's running around behind the old man and the old master rat. He's a rat, and he's an old master rat. And so Pinky, and every time it comes on, Pinky, the stupid mouse, is running behind the old man rat, and the rat's name is the Brain. He's the Brain, and Pinky is the ignorant fool following him. And Pinky asked the Brain and the TV show, "What are we going to do today, Brain? You're the boss. What are we going to do?" And the old rat said, "We're going to do what we've always done, take over the world." Is that, you know, and then the
And then the
music
song
comes on.
starts.
They
Yeah.
talk about the sun rising
Yeah.
on the dawn of a new day.
They sure
The
do.
sun was rising on the new day, the new dawn, when the world will be taken over by the Soviet communist bloc, and the Soviet communism is going to take over the world. And that's what the old rat says when Peaky said, "What are we going to do today?" He said, "We're going to take over the world the way we've always done it."
Yeah, and then they show this giant weapon, this electromagnetic pulse giant weapon at the pole, at the very pole of the Earth, and then it gravitates, brings all the consciousness or planets, together, and it brings Saturn in particular just crashing down upon the
I think that
globe
is
Earth.
absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, they talk about their genes being spliced, and then even in some cartoons, the brain, he's a master in robotics, and he creates these cyborgs, and he is the brain inside the cyborg that's a politician. So he's controlling a cyborg politician. He's up there making policies.
That's it.
It's
That's
hilarious.
What I'm talking about.
It's all Spielberg.
It's an incredible story of where Disney Studios is at now.
Yeah.
And the people who are behind it, financing, organizing, and directing Disney Studios to promote communist propaganda is what we call the WRM, World Revolutionary Movement. The World Revolutionary Movement are the brains, the money, and the operators behind world communism and world Nazism.
Yes.
World Nazism is very powerful today. It's operating all over the earth. But most people don't know that in the Western world. They don't know that the Nazis are an extremely powerful political banking order on the earth. And it's very well hidden that Nazis are running the earth from behind the scenes, and so are the communists. They are running the earth also together. They're both working together, communism and Nazism. Hitler talked about the dawning of a new day in all of his speeches. He kept talking about the sun was rising on the dawn of a new day. You go on the web and type in "Dawn of a New Day" speech by Adolf Hitler. And it's incredible. He talked about the coming sun is rising on the dawn of a new day for world Nazism. At the same time, in the Soviet Union, the communist leaders were talking about the dawn of a new day for Soviet communism, showing that they're both being financed, organized, and directed by the same secret society that is being talked about with Pinky and the Brain.
Or in Star Wars, they talk about all the wars are just bogus, and they're just merely selling equipment for the stars. I mean, they're preparing for their real life space wars. So
that's right, and that's why I think it's coming. I believe we're going to be attacked from outer space. I think there's going to be some kind of a invasion force.
Where are they going to come through? The Milky Way, Jordan? Because that's the only way I see that, given the ancient structures of the Earth, this protected field that's around the Earth. I mean, there's this crack that I've researched. That's the Milky Way. I mean, I think they would come in through there.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think where this invasionary force will come from, I think it's going to come from the planet Saturn.
Yes.
Because I have heard from people at NASA who know that Saturn is inhabited, and we know that Saturn is inhabited because we got pictures of the vehicles flying into the planet Saturn, and their military vehicles. And so it seems as though there's some sort of a military buildup on the planet Saturn. And the reason why it's a military buildup, is because NASA believes that there's a military buildup being built up on the planet Saturn because they're getting ready to invade the Earth.
Well,
and so
I think
they're bringing here a lot of military from somewhere out in space. They're bringing it here to the planet Saturn, getting it ready for a full-scale invasion of the Earth.
I think they've already invaded through their frequency is a Saturnian frequency, and Saturn is a consciousness, definitely governs what we do here. Or at one point, it was a sun that was closer, because you see the ancients would worship by having Saturn on their crowns. But I think the invasion's already here, Jordan. They're already here. They already control the human race from within, more of a macro cosmic kind of level, even from within our bodies. I think parasitical level. They're here. There's just unseen. They come in through your sinuses, probably, and get you sick. They're a virus.
No doubt about it. What about John Carpenter's movie, They Live?
That's right.
I think that Hollywood has known for a long time, and that's what's behind the power of Hollywood, is an extraterrestrial, otherworldly, demonic depravity that's operating in human society and using Hollywood as the front man.
Right. You and I would
be using Hollywood to promote otherworld demonic depravity.
You and I would be the characters in They Live that can see the symbols that are all over. You know, like Roddy Piper's character. And, my book that deals with symbols, I wouldn't have been able to write it if it weren't for you. That's kind of like the They Live glasses. If you get my book, because we've had so many great talks over the years. I was able to, like, a chronology of everything we've talked about, and with research of all these symbols that can help you see that occult world, help you see what others don't see, what people like Jordan Maxwell sees, what people like myself see. And it's these symbols everywhere, these ancient occult symbols.
For 60 years.
Yes.
60 years I've been trying to tell people. I lived in Los Angeles for almost 60 years. And I know that town well, and I know the writers, I know the television show producers, I know these people well, and I know what they're doing, and I know how they're doing it. And there's just nothing I can do about it but just talk about it. And hopefully people are listening to understand. Watch what your children are watching.
Right, it's a dark place.
These propagandists.
Yes, I gotta ask you, Jordan. It's a dark place, Hollywood, and I got loved ones that maybe say they want to act one day. They're young, and they're young. As one of their relatives, what do I say to them? Like, stay away. That's the devil. Is that the right thing to say?
Tell them that you can talk to people who have lived in Hollywood, who know it backwards and forwards, and are really well connected in Hollywood. And they tell you, stay away from Hollywood.
Absolutely.
It is a very, very evil place. It's a very, very scary place.
Yes.
We're talking about organized crime on a level that you never even imagined possible.
Wow.
And you're seeing some of these people now being outed with raping so many women in Hollywood, and the what's his name?
Epstein.
The one who had the island for prostitutes.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. It's the same.
Epstein.
You know that castle of his is the same castle, the same design as the Disney castle.
That's right.
Interesting, isn't it?
But they're bringing young girls and young kids down there, young boys and young kids down there to be raped on the island, so they won't be bothered by any law enforcement or anybody knowing anything about it.
Oh my
So
God.
tell the young people that want to go into Hollywood, tell them you better stay away.
Well, I will.
Because you're going to wake up and find out you're involved in organized crime with people who are buying and selling children on a market. They're buying and selling children and selling them around the world.
Oh my
and
God.
You have no idea in the world what's going on in Hollywood. So
it's the scariest place for a child. I mean, they literally they rip the pineal gland out of it.
It's a deadly place for adult women.
Yeah.
You got to know how bad it is for a kid if adult women are being killed and raped and plundered and all the stuff that you're hearing coming out of Hollywood with all these women who are now popping up talking about all the stuff that was going on and how they were being raped and sold and bought and sold in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, horrible place. You need to realize.
I will be sure to let the people that around me, my relatives, know that stay the hell away. Don't you even think about being an actor.
No, you might want to just go into Chicago and join the mafia. Join the mob.
It's the same thing, right?
It's the same identical thing. It's a very frightening criminal element that's running loose. And they can do whatever they want and get away with whatever they want because they got the money to buy their way out of anything. So they can do anything to you if you're a kid or a teenager there.
Yeah. You have no say.
You are sitting duck and they can do whatever they want with you. And there's nobody going to do anything. Nobody's going to touch them because the judges will even tell you in Los Angeles there is no justice. There's just us.
Oh, man.
And so stay away from Hollywood. Stay away from that place, Los Angeles, completely. It's a very dirty place.
It's going to be a disaster zone soon. I mean, you see with all the fires that look like something out of the War of the Worlds.
That's exactly right. And also, if you go on the web to YouTube and look at Los Angeles, how bad off Los Angeles is, there are whole half-hour shows driving around Los Angeles talking about the human sacrifices and bodies of people being found with their heads, with human sacrifices, and finding children with their heads being cut off. All kinds of
sounds
dark
like Mexico
stuff like that going on in Hollywood.
It sounds like Los Angeles just became Mexico. Decided to be Mexico.
I think so, and it is a Marxist communist state.
Just like Mexico.
No doubt about it. Yeah, and just keep in mind who runs Mexico if it's not the Vatican.
Right.
The Vatican is probably the biggest criminal syndicate on the face of the earth, and it makes all the other criminal syndicates around the world look like child's play because the Vatican has been involved with organized crime for thousands of years.
Absolutely.
Organized crime, the Roman Empire, Rome. And this is why the Pope is called the Holy Father, because he has the ability to talk to God. He is the original Godfather. He's the Holy Father who talks to God. He is the Godfather in Rome. That should tell you something about the Vatican.
Well, he believes himself higher. He believes himself to be higher than God. That's what makes him so unholy.
That's what makes him so holy, is he's the Holy Father. He's the Father.
Yeah.
And so Jesus said that when you pray to our Father who art in heaven, not our Father who runs the mafia from Rome and the Vatican, not our Father.
Eating spaghetti and meatballs. You got to pray to some fat Goomba. I don't know. That's who God was.
You just need to tell people stay away from Los Angeles. It's a very bad place.
Oh,
people who lived in Los Angeles for years are leaving. They are getting out of the city. People are leaving that city. Why? Because there's so much unemployment. There's so much stupidity and ignorance in people, and there are gangs everywhere. There are gangs, gang fights, gang wars on the streets. There's alcoholism, drug abuse, police and police department tragedies going on everywhere.
It's the ending of human existence there as we know it. The gods have turned their backs on all the Californians, and it is certain doom is around the corner. I mean, seismologists, though, the Salton Sea there is a ticking time bomb. 9.9 and up could hit that area, that part of the world, and totally sink it into the ground. There will be, California will be an island unto itself like it used to be. And
and you can imagine what's going to happen with all those millions of 37, the 38, the 40 million people living in California.
It's going to be hell.
And they're running out of water.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And they can't even put the fires out because they don't have the water to put the fires out. And so California is a very, very sick place, a very bad place.
I think something scary is around the corner because if you go by the predictive programming in movies like was it Demolition Man with Sylvester?
That's right.
With Sylvester Stallone, they said the big earthquake of 2010 destroyed Los Angeles and turned it into San Andreas or something. And that's 2010. Yep. That means we're 10 years overdue. I mean, that movie came out in the 1999 or something. So I mean, where'd they get their script? They might be a little off, but I'm thinking 2020 and beyond. I mean, they're overdue for the big one. I mean, they've been having big ones, all by the Northern California area.
Of course they have, and the place is on fire from top of California
Looks
to
like
the
hell.
bottom of California. The place is burning to the ground. It's an incredible story about how much has been lost in California, and I've heard organized crime and organized syndicates are involved with the burning of California. Mm-hmm. And it's being done with high tech stuff.
Yes.
Government has high-tech stuff in the satellites, lasers that can melt high rises
and people. I've seen the crimes, Jordan. I've seen deaths. I've seen them disintegrated. I've seen on YouTube. There was a car, and it seemed like a person tried to get out of their car, and as soon as they got there was a little pile of dust where that person should be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
It's insane.
If you're thinking about going to California, you better think again. You better run the opposite way.
Run for your life.
Stay out of California because everybody who lives there knows it's a deadly, deadly, dark, dirty place. And talk about corruption in government and laws in government. The judges are all on the tape. The cops are really off the wall. Extremely violent stuff going on in California. Stay away from that state, period.
Yes.
People who've lived there all their life and have money and are doing well are leaving California. By the thousands of people are leaving continually. People are getting out of California. They know it's over. California's finished. It used to be a beautiful state,
yes.
But now that the secret societies and the powers behind Hollywood have moved into California and are raping it, destroying it, and burning it to the ground.
It looks toxic.
Bringing in gangs from all over the world. My God, what a horrible place.
There's a toxic cloud looming, I mean, since the 80s. I mean, looming, it just keeps getting worse. Just right there sitting on Los Angeles in Southern California.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
That is, the people that are breathing it are just getting sick. Radon and all sorts of stuff they breathe in. And then now with these fires, the air quality is some of the worst air quality in the world. On the earth,
yes. Period. Oh, God, yeah. Stay away from California, period.
Yeah, we got out. I got
out. Yeah. I was there for 60 years. I had enough. I couldn't take it anymore. It was horrible. If you get 40 million people in one state, the last time I heard it was 38 to 39 million people in California. And they've run out of water.
Wow.
Can you imagine what life is going to be like with 40 million people with no water, no food, no work, no money? 40 million people with no food or water? My God, you don't have to be a genius to figure out that's the one place you don't want to be.
It's got to be a mass extinction, population control being conducted in California. Absolutely.
That's right. No doubt about it. It's a scary place.
Whew, man. So, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it because, I mean, my whole family's there, and they don't listen. The family is the worst to try to wake up. It's like the movie They Live, and like the scene where he's literally beating his friend up with fists and hitting him with a garbage can so they could put on the glasses and see the symbols, the truth.
No doubt about it. That's what Hollywood is telling you. Some people in Hollywood are good guys. They're trying to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
They make movies to tell you.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, it was. They said it wasn't a movie. Roddy Piper said it was a documentary. So I mean,
that's what I think it was. That's what I think it was. It was a documentary. They Live. Go watch it if you can find it on YouTube. They Live.
Online. It's definitely, or buy it. Download it.
Buy it and get it. Yeah. It's extraordinary. And then watch the television show ABC put out called V. And at the very end of the movie, they say the extraterrestrials are here to help us, and they are putting out a track, an article for the people of the earth to read about what the ETs want to do. And it says that they want to establish the dawn of a new day for the whole world.
Right.
Well, that's the symbol on the Soviet national coat of arms of the Soviet Union. That's what it says. It says the dawn of a new day for the entire world.
Right, I heard you mentioning the Saturn, that they're gearing up for a Saturnian invasion. Well, I think it's got to have something to do with the Titan mythology, or the Titans.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised.
They keep mentioning Titans here, and in this movie, Titans there. Almost everywhere the theme is that the monsters, or in Godzilla, it was the monsters were the Titans. And they're coming back because they have to destroy humanity to start over again. And it looks like there's this Jesuit secret organization called Monarch controlling the whole thing, and they're bringing the monsters or the Titans back. And one of them is a three-headed monster, definitely taken from Revelations in the Bible, but he's supposed to be a Saturnian energy that is coming to destroy humanity by 2020. Everything is Titans, from DC Comics, everything. The whole theme everywhere is monsters or Titans, and monsters and Titans.
Yep, and also then you'll be able to see things very clear because you'll be in 2020.
Right.
And that's what the eye doctors will tell you. If you got 20/20 vision, you can't get it any better than that. So I think that they're planning something for next year for us all humans to see.
Yes.
And it's going to be we're going to have a 20/20 vision. We're going to see all kinds of things you've never seen before. They never let you see, and they made sure you didn't know anything about it. But maybe they're going to show us what they're really all about, what Hollywood is really doing, who ABC and Disney really are,
right,
and where the money is coming from, and why are they doing what they're doing to California and to the people, and what's really going to happen to America next year. Next year, exactly this time next year, I believe you're going to see some terrible things happening in America. Because the Communist Party in America, who used to be in charge of the Soviet Union, they are now here in America. And they are going to overthrow this country, the government of the United States.
They're trying like hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the other day that...
I would be a bit surprised if we're going to see the overthrow of the United States government.
Well, just the other day, Jordan, I heard that Donald Trump was possibly poisoned.
That's right.
So,
and it doesn't surprise me because they want to kill the president. What's going to happen
next? It's insanity. We talked about, you mentioned NASA, and frankly, I don't really, I think they're like a bunch of fork-tongued, charlatans, but I think that we all experienced NASA technology via these, the air travel. I mean, anybody that gets in an airplane today, you're an astronaut. You're flying in space. That's why I think people don't realize that how special it. I mean, most of these planes. I was just traveling recently. I came back from your neck of the woods out there, Florida. A lot of these planes, they're built by Raytheon or Boeing, and they have the Saturnian logos.
Oh,
right?
Heavens,
Boeing,
yes.
It has the Saturnian
I
logo.
don't fly anywhere, boy. I stay away from planes.
Oh, man.
And I've been invited 2 or 3 times. I've had invites to go on cruises with the big cruise
Oh, no, no,
lines.
no. Yeah.
I've had the cruise lines contact me and like for me to go on a cruise because I'm doing radio. They'd like for me to promote the cruise lines. And so the best way to do that, they say, is to give me a free cruise to the Bahamas on cruise lines, and then I can advertise it and talk about how great it was. And I told them, I said, I'm a radio talk show host, but I am not about to go on a cruise anywhere in the world. I don't get on boat and take cruises. That's the one thing I don't do.
Oh man, no, a boat sounds, just like it's gonna be flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
it's
you
scary.
heard anything about how many people go missing on cruise lines?
No.
Young girls, young boys, teenage girls, teenage boys. They go with their parents and they go on a cruise. But when the cruise comes back, the boys are not there. They're gone.
Oh my God.
Nobody knows where the girls went. Nobody knows where they went. Nobody has any idea what happened to these kids. They're gone. They're not found. They don't know where they are.
They have a kidnapping ring. No, this is the occult right here, and all these air travel, and travel organizations. They're occult. Like I wanted to say, when I was traveling, the logo, American Airlines, they just changed their logo. It's the A10 logo, from the Egyptian A10.
Incredible.
Right, and then the Israeli airline is Air L. Like Air Elohim, and Elohim is supposed to be the sky god. So
that's right.
A lot of these logos and symbols. I mean, we cover in the book that's coming out. Thanks to your research and mine combined. A lot of these symbols I explain to the people. Just what they're experiencing. You get on a flight. Just the airline alone has a occult symbol. Cars, oh my goodness, cars. The logos for cars are all occult. Toyota, all of them. Saturn logos everywhere. Even a car company called Saturn.
The North Pole of Saturn is the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
A hexagram is on the North Pole. Go on the web and type in hexagram on Saturn.
Yes.
Or Saturnian hexagram. And there's a big Star of David hexagram on the North Pole of the planet Saturn.
Wow.
And see, the hexagram, what we call the Star of David, it was originally called, not the Star of David. The Star of David is a 6-pointed hexagram. It was called a hex, and it was referred to as the Star of Saturn. It was a Saturnian star.
Right.
And so if you look in the dictionary under it's Saturnian star, the Star of Saturn, and it's the Star of David, the 6-pointed Star of David,
right,
is on the planet Saturn.
Hex also is.
And I think that's interesting because the God of the Jews today, the Jewish people are worshiping today, all over the world, the God of the Jews today is the planet Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn was called El, E-L. Look it up in the dictionary. E-L is God in Israel today. El is the name of God in Israel. And then you find out that goes all the way back to Isis and Amun-Ra in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Ra, R-A, Amun-Ra, and you got Isis, which is I-S. So you got I-S, R-A, and L. Israel. Israel is Isis, Ra, and El.
Wow.
And so it's the three names of the esoteric gods of the Middle East. Israel.
Right, and then Hex, or it could be Heka, like the Heka, the god.
That's why the Jews are always complaining that they're being picked on, where they're wearing around their neck a hex.
Right.
It's a six-pointed star. Is called a hexagram. Hex is
They
six.
are being picked on, and by the Jesuits who put that hexagram
That's
on
right.
them.
And it wasn't. And that six-pointed star, the Star of David, has nothing to do with King David. If you go back into history and read in the King James Bible, in the Old Testament, look at these scriptures where it talks about King James and King David. I mean,
Yeah.
look in the King James Bible at the scriptures that talk about King David, and then go back to the old Hebrew Bible, back in the late 1500s, the old Hebrew Bible, and read that same scripture in the original old Hebrew Bible, and it doesn't say King David, it says King Druid.
Wow.
Not David, it's Druid. King Druid, not King David. Showing that Judaism is a Druidic religion. And today, the reference works, encyclopedias will tell you that the Druids called themselves Hebrews. And their priesthood, the Druid priesthood in Europe, called themselves Hebrews.
Yeah.
They were a priesthood. So today, what we call Hebrew is actually Druidic. And go back into the encyclopedia and look up Druids, and you'll see that the Druids had priesthood. And the Druids were referred to as the high priest. They were the governors, they were the politicians, the doctors, the lawyers. Anybody who had any important position in Europe was a Druid. And one of the most important symbols that was used among the Druids to show for power, the most important symbol of power in the Druidic system was a magic wand. Like Merlin the magician and Mickey Mouse with the magic wand. And today we have orchestra leaders who are leading the music of the orchestra with the magic wand. And magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It's made out of holly wood. Then today we still have the Druids, the people who call themselves Jews, the Druids, the Hebrews, and they are running Hollywood. And when you begin to see the connection between Hollywood and the Druidic priesthoods and the homosexual and the sexual perversion going on in Hollywood, it all begins to make sense when you begin to see the symbols and for the first time open your mind up to see what's really going on in Hollywood.
Right. No, I see a lot, Jordan. Thanks to you, I see symbols everywhere from Catholic churches to even synagogues. I mean, I was in a
synagogues everywhere.
I was in a synagogue recently over there, and I saw this menorah that looked quite peculiar to me because it looked like a seven-headed snake. And I did some.
The seven candle lampstand is why we have 7 days of the week.
Right, and that seven-headed snake, I did some research, goes back to Sumeria, and it's supposed to be like a hero. But then the snake symbolism also goes back to Apep from Egyptian and even before that, Zoroastrian, right? Apep was like a chaotic demon snake. So
yep, you're right.
I don't know what the hell to do, whether to bow down because it's a seven-headed snake or what, you know? Is it positive? Is it negative? It's a snake at the end of the day, and the symbolism is occult. It could be Apep, or he could be a hero or a villain, right? I mean, it's kind of perplexing.
It's an incredible story. Yeah, what could it be?
Right.
We're looking at all the stuff that's being thrown at us by professionals, people who are paid large salaries and live well, live in castles in Hollywood, who know what they're doing. They're selling the country out. They're selling the people out. They're buying your children. They're raping and plundering and destroying your culture, and the people love it. People are so ignorant, they have no idea in the world what's really going on.
No.
And one day they're going to wake up and find out your enemies were not your enemies from out there. Your enemies were the domesticated one from inside.
That's
Your
right.
enemies are living right next to you. They're selling you your motion pictures, your television shows, they're running your banks. They're in control of your religion, your educational society, your military, your police department. All of this dark stuff is demonic and depraved. And
Yeah.
it's all falling apart now, all around the world. The whole world is waking up to see how corrupt the human race really is now. So anyway,
Absolutely, Jordan. Let's almost wrap up here. Your research society, Jordan Maxwell Research Society. You still accepting people into the research society, of course. How do they go to it?
Of course. Go on my website. My website is Jordan Maxwell Show. JORDAN. Jordan Maxwell Show.
Yes.
And don't forget that word show. You need to put show on the end of my name, Jordan Maxwell Show, because that's my website. There are other websites out there with my name on it, but they don't belong to me. Has got nothing to do with me. There are other people using my name to sell their products and to make themselves wealthy, but they don't belong to me. And so if you're looking for my work, go to Jordan Maxwell Show, and you will see advertised on the home page a research website that you can join. Go on the research website and join my research website, because that's where I'm putting all the pictures and documents and audios and videos and all the white papers and research papers and articles that I've been looking at for years and doing research on. It's all there on Jordan Maxwell Research website. Join it. You won't believe how much is on there. We're putting new stuff on every day.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, book recommendations and free downloads, and like you said, pictures and pictures of just amazing research that you compiled over the years. I'm a member, and I highly recommend it. Jordan Maxwell Research Society. Jordan, you're going to be doing some appearances. You're getting a big award in Nevada. Would you like to tell my audience a little bit about that?
Yep. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be speaking at a major conference, a mega conference, a big one, that's going to be in Laughlin, Nevada, which is about 50 to 60 miles south of Las Vegas, on the Colorado River. About 50 miles south of Las Vegas in Nevada is a place called Laughlin, Nevada. It's a gambling town just identical to Las Vegas, but nowhere near as large. It's just a small, little, cozy little town right on the Colorado River with beautiful hotels and the casinos. And we're going to be at one of the big hotels there, and it's going to be a major UFO conference. And they're going to have speakers coming from all over the world. And it's called the 2020 UFO Mega Conference. 2020 Mega Conference. And it's going to be the subject matter is going to be extraterrestrials, UFOs, world conspiracy, all kinds of dark stuff that's going on in the world. And you're going to have all the right speakers, the teachers, the researchers, etc. And I'm going to be doing a special presentation there for that movie, for that mega conference.
Yeah.
So 2020 UFO Mega Conference.
That sounds
in
great.
Laughlin, Nevada.
Wow. So are people expecting a mass sighting of some sort, some type of mass event?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised because you're going to have all the right people there. If you have all the right people, you never know what might happen.
Right. Well, for 2020, I mean, people are anticipating, like we said earlier, to have 2020 vision. And I've been doing some research, and there's supposed to be some type of possibly aurora-like event or some type of fog-like event. Again, I don't know. Maybe even the angels in the heavens don't know what's going to happen. But, you know, it has something to do with the polar vortex, possibly, or even they could even fake a giant alien invasion. The Nazis in the secret space program, they have that technology.
Look, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me now with what I've seen
Right.
with my own eyes, and I know from people on the inside of government, from military people on the inside of NASA, my personal
Wow.
friends on the inside of
Have
military.
any of those guys told you that possibly if there is this Aurora event that we'll get superpowers?
Well, they have told me that there's some very serious things getting ready to happen on
Yeah.
the Earth. And it's going to appear that it's going to be coming from extraterrestrials. And there are ETs here. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
What I'm saying,
We
Jordan,
do have
yeah.
extraterrestrial presence here on the Earth with us right now.
Yes, well,
Of
it means extra lands. At the end of the day, but they're coming from extra lands far beyond what we know on our plane here. But what I'm saying is, what if by 2020 you and I and certain people become like superheroes because like this event changes our cosmic freaking DNA? You know, something.
Wow.
I feel like something exciting is also scary yet
Yeah.
exciting. You know, looms over.
Now, I hadn't thought about that, but there very well might be something to that fact that it's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
If you got 2020 vision, eye doctors will tell you can't get any better than that, 2020 vision.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go into the year 2020, and we're going to be seeing things happening very soon in this world that you're not going to believe.
Right.
Of that, there's no doubt in my mind. I know that there's extraterrestrial life forms here because I've seen them.
Yeah.
So we will see what's coming.
Right.
So, yeah.
I've researched that they possibly look human-like. Like they have these the myth of the Nordic aliens or the mythology that they're humanoid. They call them the Ariani or the Arcturian. Again, like archons or you know the Ark. But we could go on for hours. We already have. But it's just wonderful to have you on, Jordan. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we got to have you on as many times as you want.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate always being on with you. And anytime you want, just give me a call and let's do it again. I'm always here if you want to do a show.
And I'm sending you a copy of my upcoming book. With again, you've been helping me with this book, and you know, let's get it out there to the world, right?
I think so, and be happy to do that. And send me a copy. I want to see it, and I want to talk about it on the air when I'm doing my shows. I want to talk about the book.
I can't wait to get it to you. I mean, just give you a little tidbit of it. I mean, like all the auto companies, like you ever seen the Lexus, right? It's got a big L. Where does that come from, right? The L.
Yep, I know. I saw that.
Or Raytheon, Raytheon. I mean, it's like a dictionary. I literally go through it like a dictionary and just tell people what a lot of these logos mean, the occult translation of them, the esoteric translation. And that's thanks to you and your work that I was able to compile that book, and we're getting that book out to you, and then we'll do a whole show. I've already done a bunch of radio promotions plugging the book, but I'm just so excited that I get a chance to work with someone like you with this great book that I'm releasing.
I appreciate it, and I thank you again. Like I said, anytime you want to do a show, just let me know.
Okay.
And we'll talk later.
You got it. Thank you so much, Jordan, and stay well. Okay, we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.